I have been struggling with empathy lately. Venla is an INFJ. I feel like I'm unconsciously empathic, taking on other people's emotions without even realizing I'm doing it until later. I usually also feel responsible for their feelings. I'm probably getting a bit more conscious of this every time it happens, but I was wondering if you have any good tips on how to be more conscious of it while it's happening. How can I set boundaries so that I don't take on those feelings as my own without shutting down totally, as I've done most of my life? And this is very unusual. Thank you for asking this question, or this is very common. Thank you for asking this question. Unconsciously shutting out any and every emotion I feel, even if it's my own, has been a survival mechanism that I've been working on. And now that I've given myself permission to feel those emotions, I find that it has left me open for the empathy. And so far, I haven't been able to find balance between the two. Hope it makes sense. It came out a bit flow of thought-ish. It makes complete sense to me, and thank you for for sharing your flow of thought with us. That's fantastic. So how you can actually be more conscious of emotions that you might be adopting from other people is assume that you're doing it. Just say to yourself in every situation or after every situation, what in this situation belongs to me and what doesn't belong to me. The challenge with this particular exercise is that because INFJs don't have inward-facing feeling function, which is all about, your integrity as the person that you are, your authenticity as the person as you are. It's our shadow inner parent, so it's our sixth function in our stack. Most people don't get to the shadow functions unless they do a lot of work. It's not easy to gauge in the moment what is and isn't yours. So I hear you, I feel you, and I hear you. But as I said before, a way that I've overcome this particular one has been that I've just assumed that everything is, everything is not mine. So when somebody says something and I'm getting some kind of a reaction, I just ask to slow the situation down and just say, hey, just give me a minute to think about that. And then you tune into your body and you kind of feel into it and say, hey, is this my stuff? Or is this an emotion that the other person is displaying that I'm adopting? So ask to slow down the interaction between you and the other person. And then just ask yourself that question. Is this mine? Is this yours? Sometimes this happens to me as well, that I'm feeling some specific feeling that I don't even know where it's coming from. And then I realize that I tuned into somebody else's emotions. So for example, my sister lives in Switzerland, I live in Australia. Sometimes I'm getting a feeling and it was actually my sister's feeling. Or one time I woke up in the morning and I was hating on myself so much. I was just hating my own guts. And I was thinking, what is this? Like, how is this, how can this work? Like, I was fine when I went to sleep. Now this, like, what's going on? And then I was like, oh, it's not necessarily my stuff. So then I was, kind of tuning into what happened this day before, what happened this time of the year before. And I realized that it was a time when I had won the court case over the stalker that I had. And the stalker was obviously hating on me, like hating my guts. And I was picking it up and I thought, you know what? That's not my stuff. Don't need to carry it. Just because you're delusional, not my problem. So when you start to explore those things, that's when you start to find out what you shouldn't be doing and whose stuff is what. And again, like with everything else, you need to fail forward, fail at it at least 30 times so that you kind of, before you make a judgment whether it worked for you or not, so you give yourself plenty of opportunity to get better at a skill that you haven't been good at before. So I hope that helps you, Venla. I hope that helps anybody else who's tuning in who has been struggling with similar kind of thing. So just want to say